Let's talk about age. Why am I doing it? I'm still trying to figure that out. This is a topic that is not the easiest for me to talk about publicly. Privately, it doesn't bother me, the conversation about age. But I wanted to bring it up because I've been seeing a couple videos about men and women, but women in particular, feeling like it's kind of over after 50. So I won't say it's a confession. I never lied about my age. I just never mentioned it, but I am in the 50 family. Yes, I am. And although I've had a good career in my work life, starting a business, I'm doing it what's considered to be late, very late 40s, early 50s. And the first start that I had wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't successful. I wasn't committed. I wasn't in the mind frame. And part of that is because I also love my career. And when that is going really well, I'm really busy. And I just didn't really have the time to put the same effort in a business as I am committed to now. Also, I had a lot of resistance about going on YouTube. I had every reason not to. Just having to edit, having to comb my hair, having to look somewhat decent by my standards anyway. Also, my children are older now. One is still not an adult. I still have a teen, but they're a lot more self-sufficient. So that's a little less running around that I have to do. And I find myself feeling like, oh, if I could have had the same commitment level when I was 30, or honestly even in my early to mid 40s, but that's not the way it happened. And what made me also want to do this video is because I was listening to a podcast, a very well-known podcast and YouTuber. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to say it in a way that I'm misinterpreting his point, but I was left with he had a specialist on his channel and his podcast, and it was more so about the likelihood of being successful at certain ages and stages in your life. And to be quite honest, when he got to the 50-year-old category or even late 40s, it was bad. It was bad. It was almost like, I think he said maybe 7% chance. And I think he was more talking more about because of the habits that we have, because of the habits, because of our routines, because of we spent all these years of our adult life, let's just say 30 years. 30 years is a lot, even 20 years of doing things a certain way. And his point is that to be successful or to make a shift in whatever it is, particularly business or changing a career, even if you want to be employed, is that the persistence that it takes, he hasn't seen a high success rate in that age group. So then I was left with feeling, well, what am I doing? Does that apply to me? How do I beat those odds? And that's when I had to lean into the things that I think that matter to me. Number one, I feel like if I'm still breathing and I still have my wits about me and there's something that I'm passionate about doing, then why not? Why not? As far as I know, we get one life, we get one shot at this, and I feel like you don't get an idea to do something or have a desire for something just for nothing. And I think as humans, some of us, not all of us, I know a lot of people that don't care to be entrepreneurs. And honestly, I envy those people. It's like they're saving themselves so much headache, so much sweat and tears and uncertainty. But everybody's not cut out that way. And for those of us that have an entrepreneurial spirit, or even for some of you that are a lot younger, in your 20s, 30s, and early 40s, I feel like you owe it to yourself to make something of your own if you want to, if that's a lane that you're curious about. So going back to the podcast, the host wanted some clarity because he was approaching that age group, early 50s. And so, although he's highly successful in multiple businesses, the main business that he has a dream for hasn't materialized into what he has wanted, not yet. And I thought, wow, even with that, he's a serial entrepreneur in some regard, and he still has goals for a business. So he didn't take too well to hearing that, and he's thinking, well, what does that mean for me? And the doctor or therapist, so not a therapist, the expert, I'll just call him that, he said that it wasn't impossible. So he did clarify that. But it got me into a deep dive of trying to think of people in my life or people that I've read about that have started something later in life. And I have to say that my father is one of those people. I mean, he had a career. He worked as a systems analyst most of his career. He was in the military. And he had several business attempts growing up, as I remember. But the one that stuck, the business that he's had an over 20-year run with, it didn't happen until he was 55. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you're too old. And even with this platform, YouTube, it's really considered a space for youth, for young people creating content because they have the vigor and energy and drive. But listen, don't get it wrong. There is something to be said about having some life experience, some wisdom, and the grit to continue. So what I want to leave you with this video and why I'm doing it is, number one, it was also for myself, self-serving, to kind of give myself confidence, because time is going to pass. Time is going to pass whether we do something or not. So I would rather look back and say, oh my goodness, how far I've come, or this product that I had, it actually took off and I sold, and whether I'm still doing it at that point or not, I saw it through and I didn't give up. So if you are in your early 50s or early 60s or late 40s or whatever it is in that ageism thing, I don't want you to listen to it. Take it out of your mind. If you feel good, if your mind is right and you like and have a passion for what you want to do, don't let age be a factor. You know what? Just give it the middle finger as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much for your time. I would love it if you would subscribe, because that is part of my goal to get to, I don't know, even 50 subscribers. Because I want to do some live streams. But if you got some value in it, I'm happy with that. Bye.